Before we move on, there was a small paragraph a couple pages ago about glyphs, and it said basically go watch a extra supplemental video on that. But I want to show you the glyphs panel because glyphs are really neat. I'm going to start maybe by just selecting the word grilled, maybe even putting my text, my cursor in. So what if grilled was somehow a word that I had trademarked and I wanted to add the trademark symbol? Glyphs are located under the Type menu and then Glyphs. And for the font that you're looking at, which for me is Montserrat Medium, this is the full set of glyphs that are available. So if you need any letter forms with some different, the accent marks that are used in different languages, it's probably in here. If you have a font that's that has these glyphs, this is where you will find them. But towards the bottom, I'm finding some things that we might all need, like fractions, or maybe brackets or braces need to look a little bit more stylized to match this font. The cent sign, the dollar sign, omega, copyright. Here's the trademark. So if I were to click on that and move this out of the way, perhaps I need to double click, there we go. It was inserted for me. Or registered trademark, I could double click on that. Obviously I would come back in here and probably make it, a whole lot smaller, something like that. But this is where the glyphs can be found, and they're very, very helpful. A lot of times the dollar sign or the cent sign or something like that just doesn't quite look right with the font that you're in. Always check the glyphs and see if they have what you're looking for, and it's under the Type drop-down menu. Okay, moving forward, we're going to create and apply text styles. This is awesome. Styles allow you to format text consistently. They're helpful when your client comes in and says, I don't quite like that font, and you've used it as body copy all over, no problem. As long as you've set it up as a style and all of your body copy is applied with that style, if you change it, it's going to update everywhere throughout your document. So we have paragraph styles and we have character styles. So we're going to start with a paragraph style. We're going to work with the selection tool, and we're going to go to the artboard on the right below the fish artwork, and we're going to double click down on this side. So we're going to double click here. Let's see. Doing that selects that text box, and you can see that it inserted the cursor right where I was double clicking. So it put me in the text tool and I can see my cursor kind of flashing right there. We're going to go up to our menu at the top. We're going to choose Window. We're going to go open the Type, and then, we're going to get Paragraph Styles. So this popped open a floating panel that has paragraph styles and character styles by default nested together. Make sure that the paragraph style is the one that's actively lit up. And at the bottom of this window, we see a plus sign, Create New Style. So we're going to click on that. A new paragraph style was called Normal Paragraph Style Plus, or Paragraph Style 1. So Paragraph Style 1 is the one that we just added. It captured whatever was going on in this text as far as fonts and size, and we have that 6-point space after our paragraphs. All of that was captured. We're going to double click directly on the style name Paragraph Style 1 to rename it, and we're going to name this one Body. So this is going to be the style for all of our body type, and we're going to hit Return. By double clicking on that, we did two things. We also, besides naming it, we also applied it to the paragraph that we have selected right now. It already was because we actually got it from there, but in other cases, that's the way you can apply it. Let's take our selection tool, and with our text object selected, we are gonna, well, mine already is. I already have the other column. And then we're going to also click on the left-handed artboard that has the word ingredients. So way up here, we're going to shift click on that and on directions. So all of these are what we consider to be body copy. So we're going to select them all. And then in the paragraph style panel, we're going to click on body. Notice how they all changed to match what we already had and what we assigned to be our body style. Montserrat, light, 10 point, and with the spacing that we discussed. So that was a nice, quick, easy way to do that. Let's click away to deselect, and we're going to click on the text in the middle of the left-hand artboard that begins with ingredients. And we're going to fit that artboard in the window. So we've selected the ingredients. We're going to take our type tool. And I want to show you that if you click once, your cursor is put in. If you click twice, it highlights the word. And if you click 3 times, it should highlight the entire paragraph. And there must be a paragraph return after the word ingredients because that's what it selected. So 1 puts the cursor in, 2 clicks is the word, 3 clicks is the paragraph. All right, let's go back to the word ingredients and triple click it so that we select that. And we're going to change our font style over here in the properties panel to be Montserrat medium because this is like a heading for us, the word ingredients. So Montserrat medium is going to make it a little bit bolder. And to make a new paragraph style from this, back in our floating style panel, we're going to click on the Make New, and we get paragraph style number 2. Notice that right now Body Plus is highlighted. That's because it previously was assigned the body style, but when we switched the font on it, it changed it, so that's where the plus sign comes from. So the new one truly is paragraph 2. We're going to double click directly in there and we're going to change the name to be heading. And when we hit return, it also applied it to what we had highlighted. So this new style of heading has been applied to the word ingredients. We're going to take our cursor and insert it in the directions text down here. And we're going to, whoops, literally the directions, not the word directions. How's that? And with that cursor right where it is, we're going to click heading, and that without highlighting it, it was smart enough to know that we actually wanted the whole word, and it applied the heading to the word directions. Let's pop over to our next artboard, and we're going to put our cursor in the word ingredients. And we're going to turn that into a heading as well. And we're going to, are there more directions? Down here, there's the word directions. So at the end of the ingredients is the word directions. So put your cursor in there as well and make that be a heading also. So if the directions text is not at the top of the second column, like mine isn't, we're going to use our selection tool. And we're just going to drag this bounding box up so that the directions get pushed over to the second or the second linked text object shape. The text is flowing between the 2 frames. All right, so we just created and applied a paragraph style. And what if we want to edit it, or the client doesn't like it and we need to do some editing? We can easily do this, and it's going to be updated automatically throughout the document wherever that style was applied. So we've applied body and heading styles so far. All right, double click on this column of text that we just resized to switch over to our type tool, and we have a cursor that is randomly put down here. And we're going to click on the word ingredients. So we have the cursor inside ingredients. Up in our heading style up here in this floating panel, move it off to the right a little bit, we're going to double click to the right of the style name. So not on heading, but over here to the right of it. And that's going to bring up another document. This is where we can do some tweaking. So right now its name is heading. It's telling us what our basic formatting is. It's Montserrat medium, 10-point spacing after. So in here we can select some things to tweak. So we're going to go to basic character formats category on the left hand side. And we're going to switch this, instead of being Montserrat, we want to use Oswald. So scroll down to Oswald. The font style of Oswald, we want to use the regular. And for the size, we want it to be 12-point. The case, we want it to be all caps. And tracking, we want to be 25. And if you hit tab, you'll see what we're seeing it live over here. What it does is it spreads out the space equally between each of the letters. So that's what tracking does. It makes space between them or pulls them closer together. With the preview selected, we can see how now our headings are different, and that's usually a good thing. They need to look visually a little bit different. We're okay with that. We'll say okay. And if we fit everything in our window, we'll see that this happened where in the 4 places where our heading was being used. So that's perfect. So those are paragraph styles. We're going to quick look at character styles in this same video. So character styles, I'll switch to that. Unlike what we were just working with, these can only be applied to selected text, and they only contain character formatting. So let's use our selection tool and click on serves 6 to 8 over here, and then let's zoom in on that. So serve 6 to 8 is where we're working. We're going to double click inside here. That's going to switch us over to the text tool and put our cursor inside for us. And we're going to highlight or drag over the word serves and the semicolon to select it. In our properties panel at the right, we're going to choose regular. Instead of Oswald Light, we're going to do Oswald Regular. And we're going to click on the fill box up here, and we're going to choose that strawberry color. And then we're going to go up to this panel that we had floating before, and we're going to click on, whoops, I didn't mean to split them that way. No big deal though. I'll just nest them again. We had been working in paragraph styles. We're going to click on character styles, and we're going to make a character styles panel. So don't do it yet, but if we click on this plus sign, we would be able to make a new one. But if we hold Option when we click it, it also lets us edit any of the style options before it adds it here. So we're going to Option click on the plus sign, and we get this kind of advanced window. For sure we can name it, but if we want to tweak anything else, here's our chance. So the name that we're going to give this style is bold. I don't know why I did that. Bold text, doesn't need to be capitalized. And add to my library, I don't want on, I don't need that, but we can see some other details here. If we wanted to change anything, this is where we could do it. We'll say okay. That added a new style called bold text. So with the text still selected over here, we're going to click on the style name of bold text. This text already visually was read Oswald Regular 12-point, but it wasn't assigned this style yet. So we have to, after we make it, we have to click on it to apply it to this literally. We're going to go over into the time, 15 minutes over here. We're going to highlight the time, and we're going to turn that into bold text as well. And then we can click away to deselect, and we see it also follows those same attributes. Red, a little bit bigger, and we're ready to go. Now, what if we want to edit one of these? Of course you can do that, because that'd be terrible if we couldn't. So same thing, instead of clicking on the bold text, which is going to apply it to something, we're going to click in this right blank area right here. So we're going to double click here. That brings up this character style options box again. we're going to go into the character color panel, and instead of being the red that we thought we wanted, we're going to make it black, which is 0, 0, 0, 0, this one right here. We don't want it in our library, we do want the preview on, and we're happy. We'll say OK. Notice that both of these were updated because they had been assigned the character style of bold text. So super easy way to be consistent across your document.